Hello everyone. I'm Z from Susan's family. Today, I'll share with you a shawl named Ruoli. This shawl consists of the main piece and tassels. Complete the main piece first, then make and secure the tassels. Let's start by learning the crochet method for the main piece. The main piece begins with a double magic ring, then crochet back and forth in rows. The several crochet techniques you'll use are all marked in the pattern. I won't list them one by one. Now, let me demonstrate the specific crochet method. Before we start crocheting, let's learn the basic posture for crocheting. For convenience, I will demonstrate using thick cotton yarn in a different color. For specific yarn choice, color schemes, and hook sizes, please refer to the detail page of our product and the printed pattern instructions. It should be noted that, due to the feature of mohair yarn, it's hard to undo once crocheted. You can use your waste yarn for exercise. Learn the crochet method by following the tutorial. Once you're proficient, then crochet for real. Before you start crocheting for real, if the first 30 centimeters of the yarn has small glitter pieces like this, you can use scissors to cut them off, making it easier to close the loops later. First, begin with a double magic ring. Pick up the yarn with your right hand and wrap it twice around your left index finger. Now there are 3 strands on your index finger. Use your right thumb and index finger to pinch where the loops overlap. Carefully remove them. Then wrap the yarn tail around your left little finger and goes through between your middle finger and index finger, holding the loops with your left thumb and middle finger. Pick up the crochet hook with your right hand. Insert it into the big ring. Put the hook on the left side of the yarn. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. Now there is 1 loop on the hook. Chain 1 to secure. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. 1 chain stitch is done. Note: the loops on the hook shouldn't be too tight, or it will be difficult to crochet later. Like this, the double magic ring is finished. Start row 1. Row 1 is worked from right to left according to the chart. First, slightly enlarge the loop. Make it to a height of about 1 centimeter. Then crochet a half double crochet, 5 stitches into the same stitch and crochet together. First, crochet an incomplete half double crochet, yarn over, hold the loop with your middle finger. Insert into the big ring. Draw the yarn through. Slightly enlarge the loop until reach the same height as the right side. The incomplete half double crochet is done. Continue the second incomplete half double crochet. Similarly, hold the loop here. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. Slightly enlarge the loop until reach to the same height as the right side. The second incomplete half double crochet is done. With the same method, continue working 3 incomplete half double crochets in the big ring. Three. 4. 5. After finishing 5 incomplete half double crochets, yarn over again. Draw through all the loops on the hook. You can pinch the left side here to prevent the loops from tightening. This is the HDC5 puff. Moving on, chain 1 to secure, yarn over, draw through. Slightly tighten. For easier explanation, we will consider a HDC5 puff and 1 chain stitch. As a bean stitch, chain another 1 to connect. This chain stitch doesn't need to be pulled tight. Continue with another bean stitch. First, crochet a HDC5 puff, which means make 5 incomplete half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pay attention. Pull every stitch to the same height as the right side. And while crocheting, use your fingers to hold it in place. After completing, pinch here with your left hand. Wrap the yarn. Draw the yarn through all loops at once. Another HDC5 puff is completed. Chain 1 to secure. Slightly tighten. The second bean stitch is completed. For easier explanation, we will refer these 2 bean stitches and the connecting chains as 1 bean pattern. Continue another bean pattern. Firstly, make a bean stitch, which means crochet a HDC5 puff. Then chain 1 to secure. One bean stitch is completed. Chain 1 as a bridge. Crochet 1 bean stitch again. Another bean pattern is completed. Row 1 is finished. After completing it, you need to close the magic ring. First, enlarge the ring, prevent it from slipping off. You can see that there are 2 loops here. Gently pull the yarn tail of the cast on. Pay attention, don't pinch the inside loop. You'll see one of them become smaller. Tighten this one first. One loop left. Pull tight the yarn tail directly. In this way, the beginning ring has been closed. Move on to row 2. For this row, read the pattern chart from left to right, turn the fabric to the other side. Make a slip stitch. Insert the hook into the chain space in the middle of the first bean pattern. yarn over, and draw through. The slip stitch is done. Then slightly enlarge the loop. Continue in this space. Make a bean pattern. Make a bean stitch first. Then make 1 chain. Make 1 more bean stitch. One bean pattern is completed. Next, make 5 chains as a bridge. And then make 1 bean pattern in the chain space of the bean pattern on the left side. Row 2 is completed. Continue to row 3. For odd numbered rows, read the pattern chart from right to left. For even numbered rows, read the chart from left to right. Turn the fabric to the other side. Then make a slip stitch. Insert the hook into the chain space of first bean pattern. Yarn over. Draw through. Then, slightly enlarge the loop. In the same space, make a bean pattern. After that, chain 5 as a bridge. Next, in this bigger chain space, work 1 double crochet. Yarn over. Insert into the chain space. Draw through. There's no need to deliberately enlarge the loop here. Crochet normally. There are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through the first 2 loops. 2 loops left on the hook. Yarn over again. Draw through all loops at once. 1 double crochet is done. There are 2 V-shaped strands on the right above the double crochet. This is the stitch of the double crochet. 1 stitch represents 1 crocheted stitch. Continue in this chain space. Work the second double crochet. Yarn over. Insert the hook. Draw the yarn through. There are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over again, and draw the yarn through the first 2 loops. Repeat twice. 1, 2. Another double crochet is done. Using the same method, continue work 2 more double crochets in this chain space. Three. 4. After completing, chain 5 as a bridge. Then work a bean pattern in the chain space. of the bean pattern on the left side. Row 3 is finished. We will consider this row facing us as the right side of the shawl, which is the side where the double crochets have a clear texture. The side with a blurry texture is the wrong side. Continue with row 4. Before working each row, you need to turn the fabric first. Start by working one slip stitch in the chain space of the first bean pattern. Bring the yarn to this position. Work one bean pattern. Then chain 5 as a bridge. Continue with the middle part. Note: when looking at the wrong side of the row, the stitches correspond to the braids on the left top. On the first double crochet stitch, work 1 DC2 in 1. That means make 2 double crochets into the same stitch. Make 1. Then, make another double crochet in the same place. This way, DC2 in 1 is completed. In other words, you've made 2 double crochets in this stitch. Next, work 1 double crochet in the adjacent stitch on the left. Then, chain 5. Continue work 1 double crochet in the adjacent stitch on the left. Then work a DC2 in 1 in the next stitch. In other words, work 2 double crochets in this stitch. 1. 2. Another DC2 in 1 is completed, and the middle part is finished. For each row from now on, after completing the middle part, you need to work 5 chains. Then, work 1 bean pattern in the chain space of the bean pattern in previous row. Now, row 4 is finished. Continue with row 5. The beginning is the same as the previous rows 2, 4. After completing it, you'll reach the middle part. First, work a front post double crochet on the first double crochet on the left. We'll refer to this as FPDC for short. Insert the hook into the right side of the double crochet. And exit from the left side. It's equivalent to picking up the entire double crochet to crochet on it. The method is the same as for a double crochet, but the insertion point is different. This way, you've completed one FPDC. Continue work 1 FPDC on the next double crochet on the left. Pick up the entire double crochet like this and crochet. The method is the same as for a double crochet. Another FPDC is completed. Following the same method, crochet another FPDC on the next double crochet on the left. After completing it, chain 3. Then, work 1 double crochet in the middle large chain space. Chain 3 again. Next, work 1 FPDC on each 3 double crochets on the left. The middle part is completed. The ending is the same as rows 2 to row 4. This completes row 5. Now, continue with row 6. Start as usual. After completing it, the chart shows the symbol for front post double crochet, since this row is crocheted on the wrong side. The symbol means you need to crochet back post double crochets in this row. We'll refer to this as BPDC for short. The method is the same as for regular double crochets. The only difference is the insertion point. Insert your hook from back to front on the right side of this post double crochet. Then insert into the gap on the left. Crochet as double crochet. One BPDC is completed. Continue in the same way. Work 1 BPDC on each next 2 stitches on the left. After completing, chain 3. Then, make a single crochet in the chain space. On the right side of this double crochet, insert the hook. Draw the yarn through. There are 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over, draw through both loops on the hook at once. 1 single crochet is completed. There are also V-shaped strands on the right above the single crochet. Chain 5. Then, make another single crochet in the chain space on the left. Insert the hook. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over, and draw through the 2 loops on the hook at once. Another single crochet is completed. Chain 3. Then, work 1 BPDC on each next 3 stitches on the left. After completing these, finish the row as usual. In this way, row 6 is finished. You can see that the post double crochet with the prominent texture is the right side. Each row starts with a slip stitch, 1 bean pattern and 5 chains. The ending is 5 chains and 1 bean pattern. Continue with row 7. I have already made it. Work the edges of this row normally. For the middle part, when you encounter the corresponding symbol, work a FPDC. The method is the same as row 5. This large chain space in the middle. You need to work 9 double crochets in it. Chain 3 on each side. Refer to the pattern and follow the previous demonstration to complete this row. After completing it, continue with row 8. Start as usual. I have already made it. For the middle part, make 3 BPDCs first. Chain 3. Then, make 1 bean stitch in the first double crochet stitch. After completing it, chain 3 to connect. Skip 1 stitch, and continue making 1 bean stitch in the next stitch on the left. Chain 3 again. Repeat skipping 1 and making 1 bean stitch. Between each repetition, chain 3 to connect. Keep going all the way to the last double crochet. After completing it, chain 3. 3 BPDCs. Finish the ending part as usual. Now, we have finished row 8. Move on to row 9. Start as usual. For the middle part, make 1 FPDC first. Then, on this stitch on the left, make a FPDC 2-in-1. That means make 2 front post double crochets in the same stitch. 1, 2. The FPDC 2-in-1 is completed. This is adding 1 stitch. Continue making 1 FPDC on the left. Chain 3. After completing that, in the chain space between these 2 bean stitches, make 2 single crochets. Then, in the chain stitch that secures the next bean stitch, make 1 single crochet, continue making 2 single crochets respectively in the next 3 chain spaces on the left, and make 1 single crochet respectively on the chain stitch that secures the bean stitches. After completing that, you should have crocheted a total of 11 single crochets. Chain 3 more. Then, for the middle one of next 3 stitches on the left, make a FPDC 2-in-1, and make 1 FPDC on the others. After completing that, and as usual, this way, row 9 is completed. Continue with row 10. Start as usual. Then, on the first stitch, make a BPDC 2-in-1. That means make 2 back post double crochets in the same stitch. Next, crochet 1 BPDC in the next stitch. Five chains. In the next stitches, make 1 BPDC and 1 BPDC 2-in-1. After completing, chain 3. Then, starting from the second single crochet from previous row, work single crochets correspondingly. Crochet all the way to the second to last single crochet. Followed by 3 chains. Then, crochet symmetrically as before. That means crochet 1 BPDC 2-in-1. 1 BPDC, 5 chains, 1 BPDC and 1 BPDC 2 in 1. Finish as usual. Now, row 10 is completed. When counting rows, you can count the bean patterns on the edge. 1 bean pattern means 1 row. There are 10 bean patterns here, which means 10 rows. Continue row 11 to row 16. I have already finished them, for the positions between the post double crochets in the middle part. In row 11, rows 12 and 13. Except 1 single crochet on each side. Work single crochets in these stitches in the middle correspondingly. Then chain 3 to connect on each side. In row 14, on the middle single crochet, make a double crochet. Also chain 3 to connect on each side. For rows 15 and 16, chain 5 to connect. The crochet pattern for the sides is the same as before. For the post double crochet, rows 11 to row 14 are worked evenly. Row 15 is the same as row 9. On both sides, increase by working 1 FPDC 2 in 1 on the middle of these 3 stitches. Work FPDC on the remaining post double crochets evenly. Row 16 is the same as row 10. Crochet 1 BPDC 2 in 1. On these 2 stitches on both sides, work BPDC on the remaining post double crochets evenly. Refer to the pattern chart. Follow the previous demonstration. Complete the first 16 rows. To make it easier to explain, starting from the 5th row, every 6 rows form an increase repetition. Here, the first 16 rows are completed. That means 2 increase repetitions have been completed. The first 4 rows of each increase repetition are worked evenly with FPDCS or BPDCS. The last 2 rows require FPDC 2 in 1 or BPDC 2 in 1 on both sides. The middle part involves staggering these pattern groups. Each group spans 12 rows. Next, refer to the pattern chart. Follow the previous demonstration. Continue crocheting each increase repetition. Keep going until the 4th to last row is completed. It should be noted that, if you run out of yarn in the process, take a new yarn and continue crocheting normally. After a few stitches, tie a knot with the yarn tail on the wrong side of the fabric. Leave both tails about 5–10 centimeters. Hide all the tails later. If you encounter a knot in the yarn ball, cut it off. Then refer to the demonstration here and join the yarn to continue crocheting. After finishing the fourth to last row, I will use this small sample to explain the last 3 rows. The small sample is already crocheted. On row 119, when you encounter a post double crochet, crochet the FPDC normally. Ignore the chain spaces at the beginning and end. Crochet 3 double crochets respectively between the 2 groups of FPDCs on the chain spaces. For the remaining chain spaces, crochet 2 double crochets. On these single crochets, crochet double crochets correspondingly. Everyone follow this method and finish this row. For row 120, except for the beginning and end, the middle part starts from the first post double crochet. Alternate crocheting 1 double crochet and 3 chains. Continue all the way to the last post double crochet. Between the double crochets, skip 3 stitches overall. If it doesn't divide evenly, you can adjust the number of skipped stitches between last few double crochets. Ensure that you crochet the last double crochet on the last post double crochet. The situation in the sample here is not for reference. Everyone refer to the pattern chart and finish this row. Continue with the last row. In this row, crochet 1 bean pattern respectively on both sides. Then, crochet 1 bean pattern on each double crochet. Note: between the bean patterns, no chains are needed for connection. Follow this method and finish the last row. After finishing, chain 1 to secure. Enlarge the loop. Leave a tail of 5-10 centimeters. Cut it off. Pull tight. This is essentially securing it with a knot. Hide the yarn tail by following the texture on the wrong side. You can also hide the entire tail. Hide the remaining tails on the wrong side as well. Up to this point, the main piece is completed. After completing the crochet of the main piece, you need to make 1 larger tassel and 2 smaller tassels. The larger tassel is secured to the angle where you began. The smaller tassels are secured to the remaining 2 angles. First, find a piece of cardboard and trim it. There are no specific requirements for the length of the cardboard, but it shouldn't be too short to wrap the yarn. When making the larger tassel, this width should be about 8.5 centimeters. When making the smaller tassel, this width should be about 6 centimeters. The method for making tassels is the same. Now, let me demonstrate it simply. First, use the leftover yarn from crocheting. Cut a 80 centimeters yarn tail and a 30 centimeters one. Set it aside. Then, wrap the yarn around the cardboard. For the smaller tassel, wrap the yarn at the narrower position. For the bigger tassel, wrap the yarn at the wider position. The specific number of rounds can be referred to in the pattern instructions. You can also wrap according to your preference. While wrapping the yarn, do it roughly evenly. The small sample has fewer rounds. When done, cut the yarn. Then cut one side open. Next, fold the longer yarn tail in half. Wrap a few rounds in the middle of the tassel. And tie a knot to secure it. Then, about 1 centimeter above the yarn, tie another knot. Next, about 1 centimeter from the top, wrap a few rounds with another yarn tail, and tie a knot to secure it. Crochet the ends into the tassel. Finally, trim the bottom roughly. Like this, a small tassel is completed. Refer to the demonstration here. Make all 3 tassels. After that, attach them to the 3 angles of the main piece. Use the top tail to sew a few stitches on the angle. After sewing, tie knots and weave in the ends. Hide the remaining tails inside the fabric. Refer to the demonstration here. Secure all the tassels in place. Up to this point, this shawl is completed. If you have any questions during the process, don't hesitate to reach us via our website. Susan's Family, supporting your handwork experience, sharing the joy of life. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode.